Once again, we are back on Boond Soch ki ttalk train of thought with a series of episodes with Mr. Gopal Mishra, who is a senior manager ERP with HPCL. It's a great, interesting insight what we had through his experience of 17 years by being part of an HPCL and with Tata Motors. And sir, once again, welcome back to this show. Now, in fact, we have seen the various aspects. We have seen your journey. Now, in fact, when we talk in terms of self-reflection, what is the value of a self-reflection according to you,
So self-reflection is something that gives you a view inside. Most often we are used to looking outside. So we see the outside world and we see other people and we make impressions of that. While doing everything, we often make impressions about ourselves, but we don't really get into that. When we close our eyes to the outside world, even physically close our eyes, we start looking deeper inside. So there is one concept called Johari window, where it is illustrated that there are things about us that we know and the world knows. These are like open areas. There are things that we know but others don't, the secret areas. There are things that others know but we don't. So these are areas that we are blind to.
Correct.
And then there are areas which we don't know and the others don't know. So both of them are blind spots for us. And what is important for us is to cover these blind spots, to understand ourselves better. And why is it important to understand ourselves better? Because if you are a more self-aware person, you will understand your own motivations, your own perspectives, your own emotions. Why you shouted at that person is something, the answer to that question will only come from self-reflection. What kind of person you are? What are your values? How do you have certain emotions? Why do you have those emotions? What is it that triggered your anger at that point of time? The answer to that will only come from within. Now, a number of leadership questions are about leading people. When we want to lead people, what we want to do is communicate to them what we want from them. We want them to follow what we are saying. We want to win over them, win over their hearts at least. So when we want to win over other people, we first have to win over ourselves.
Correct.
Unless we know ourselves, unless we are able to win over ourselves, we cannot even think of winning over other people. So before getting into a leadership role, we have to be able to control ourselves. And for controlling ourselves, first we have to understand ourselves. And that is where the journey begins.
Correct.
You learn about yourself, your deeper self, who you really are. What are your real aspirations, your real motivations? What kind of emotions do you feel when anything happens? And why do you feel those emotions?
Right.
Can you change that? And we can, by the way.
Correct.
We are definitely an accumulation of our past experiences, but our experiences are not stopping. So for the next 1 year, our experiences we can change.
Correct.
And that way we can change our own emotions.
Correct.
After being a more self-aware person.
Many a times I think we have seen, maybe in the this in corporate also, there's a lot of conflict in corporate and journal life, usually means like you don't know yourself, So what are your views about that, about those conflicts which do arises,
The conflict mostly arises because we don't know ourselves. And we try to understand other people.
Yeah.
So before trying to understand other people, I think we should first try to understand ourselves. And when we are trying to understand other people, we are looking at it from our perspective. Even if we are trying to get into their shoes, what we really understand is our perspective of their perspective.
Correct. So I think one needs to have a self-discovery questions,
Right.
Just to minimize those kind of conflicts which are there.
Yes, definitely. we need to understand ourselves, our what are the things that are motivating us, motivating me specifically. What are the things that are dear to me, that are valuable to me? Which are the things that I value most? Do I value courage most? Do I value support? Do I value intelligence, or do I value innocence? Do I value friendship, or do I value let us say camaraderie? So all of these things are different.
Correct. So what do you say, like when we talk in terms of actually, if you understand yourself, like what are the benefit of a self reflection in terms of emotional intelligence, like?
So when you understand yourself, you understand your own emotions better, and when you understand those, then only you can think of regulating it. And it is very important to regulate your emotions, at least the show of it. So there are two aspects to it. One is interpersonal relations. When you understand yourself better, you are able to better manage your emotions in front of others, and then you are able to have better impact on others. And second aspect is, when you better understand your emotions, you are able to better control your stress, better manage your stress, which is actually a bigger aspect in terms of current corporate life. We have a lot of stress, and that stress actually creeps in from the difference of what we want and what we have, the reality and the aspiration. There would always be difference between this, but what triggers our emotion could be specific things that we want. And how we respond to those gaps is something that we can always control.
Great. So it's a great valuable insights in terms of the value of a self reflection. I'm sure beautiful explanation given through Joyri Bindo also, and also, like, if you know yourself, I'm sure all the relevant conflicts which are there, one can eliminate, and can in the process can increase the emotional intelligence too. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of this show. And if you like this episode, just go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. Thank you very much.